What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Bonnie Scotch. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel today. I wanted to bring you season 1, episode 5 of the Braxtons. Let's chat. Let's talk. Well, first, it would be helpful if I had my mic pulled front and center. If you all are entering the room, go ahead and hit the like button for me. Drop down in the chat. Let me know where you're stopping in from. And feel free to leave comments as you see fit. Okay? And when you hit the like button, not only is it a free way to support my channel, but it also lets YouTube know that I am here and that you all are rocking with my commentary. So they start to shoot my content out to other viewers just like you, an audience who ordinarily would not get an opportunity to connect with my channel. That being said, let's just go ahead and jump into it. I have a lot of notes. You know, lately I'm finding that with this show, there's so much going on. There are so many dynamics. And we're calling upon older seasons and older stories and timelines too. So there's a lot to talk about, right? I don't feel like it's my standard reality show review where I can just get in and out within 25, 30 minutes and just post it, because I know that I'm long-winded. I get a little tangential. I'll go off on my little side stories and get anecdotal. So I just, I'm not editing an hour of content. I'm just not doing that. Okay. So I appreciate you all for rocking with me in my new format as I'm editing and as I'm going through the motions and trying to figure out what the best course of action is for me in this show. But let's go ahead and jump into it, okay? I see 7 of you are in the room with me. Go ahead once again and hit the like button for me. I really appreciate y'all. Let's jump in, all right? So, hey, Bonnie. That skin is giving today. Thank you so much, Constance. I really appreciate you. Thank you for stopping through. I'll do a separate tutorial on what I have on my skin because a few people have been asking me to do some makeup things. So I did not forget about the folks who asked. All right. So how do we start this episode? Oh, yes. We pick up where we left off with Towanda going off on OG, the showrunner, and I didn't like that. I feel like despite how you feel, that man is not in your family. He's not your friend. You don't really know him like that. You all are in a professional setting. I didn't like that. I didn't like her going off on that man for trying to do his job. He's trying to bring Kevin Sr. into the fold because we keep talking about Kevin Sr. He's doing what actually makes sense for the show. He's doing his job. And Towanda is trying to thwart his efforts to have an honest show. And he immediately shuts down. He backs down. He's like, well, do you see him here? He didn't come. Well, yeah, OG, it's because we see how bad Towanda cut up. So he doesn't want to ruffle any feathers. You can already tell, like, he's trying to smooth things over. And I think I mentioned this in the last review too, like, how did Towanda become the authority on the whole family? I thought Tony and Trina decided that this would be a discussion amongst the sisters, right? Okay, boom. Y'all, this part of the episode was really bugging me. It was annoying me. Trina says, we didn't attend that thing he set up, talking about Kevin Jr., that she did not want. She meaning Traci. They're saying that Traci set out her mouth that she didn't want a funeral. Towanda goes on yelling and carrying on that she put it in her will that she did not want a funeral. Y'all, shout out to Really BTV. She discussed this a couple of videos back. She pulled up the will. I pulled it up. We went over it. We discussed it. What all is in the will. Traci did want a funeral. She just didn't want organizations putting on for her. She didn't want specifically her sorority, the Zetas, and she didn't want the Eastern Stars to put on any type of you know, funeral or service for her, right? Hey, what's going on, Michael? Thank you so much for stopping through. I really appreciate you. Let me get my wine real quick and watch this. I've seen you tweet about it a few times. I had no idea the show existed. Honey, it's a lot. It's a lot. And the Braxtons have an extensive history. And so with the death of Traci, there has just been so much confusion about the will and things like that going on. And the sisters just throwing out all of this wild, nebulous information, you know, and they move in a way in which it's like their word is fact, their word is law, and it's not. Because we pulled up the will. I hope that nobody feels like I was being disrespectful to Traci. I love Traci. I love her music. That second album, I already told y'all I went up for it. She had some cuts on that second album. Traci was my favorite. Aside from, I felt like Missy was another breakout star. Now, Tamar was another fan favorite, but she wasn't my favorite. It was Traci and Miss E for me. Miss E had a lot of one-liners and sayings and quotables, but Traci had the personality and the heart. You know what I'm saying? But in any case, let me go ahead and jump back into my notes before I get sidetracked, y'all. Okay. So, Towanda says that she thinks that the audience and the fans need to understand that this platform is not for anyone else other than people who respected Traci's wishes. The husband didn't do anything to disrespect Traci's wishes, y'all. She asked for in her will, which I did pull up. Go back to my last video, me and Really BTV, we pulled up the will. It is public information. We didn't dox anybody. We didn't read the entire will. Again, it's public information. Anybody can find it. And we only read the parts that pertain to the show, right? Which is being brought up this will. She wanted a funeral. I don't know if y'all can hear my dog. He's going off on somebody in the back. But she asked for a funeral, and she asked specifically that her husband take care of the arrangements and take care of all of these small details down to how she looked and what she wore. She wanted her son and her husband to collaborate on the funeral. So we know that this is false. We know that this is a lie. And I'm just wondering why Towanda is stating this as if it's fact. She's like, it's in the will. You're lying. You're lying, Towanda. Stop it. Stop the cap. Towanda is the puppeteer. She is like the main producer. She thinks she's Olivia Pope, and she's really not that girl. She's really causing more mess because let me just go through my notes, child, because I thought this episode was going to be a lot more calm. But anyway, I said here, Towanda has her mouth all puckered up, talking about how she's going to continue to fight for Traci till the day that she dies. Did you fight for her while she was alive? Because I remember Traci called you a snake to your face, and we've all been seeing this clip rolling around, right? Where she had to bark on you and get on your ass, get off in your ass, right? She is saying that, oh, there's just so much. We didn't leave out our sister. This situation is facts. You know, the situation that we're talking about is facts. First of all, how do we go from a conversation about Kevin Sr. and the funeral to Traci and touring and Traci getting left behind? I'm sorry. Does anybody else find this manipulative? How do we go from talking about Kevin Sr. being on the show to, oh, we didn't leave Traci behind, and we started to tour with Luther Vandross, and we left that tour, and Tony set up a tour overseas just to have Traci come along. Y'all, did y'all catch that in this moment, Towanda is talking about this, you know, trying to rewrite the narrative, and she's like, well, we didn't leave Traci behind. It's just that she got pregnant first, and females, her words, females couldn't be pregnant and, be a star at the time. And then we have Trina piping up to say, oh, yeah, the execs told us that, men have to want to F you and women have to want to be you. Basically, calling her sister ugly and unsexy. I was like, wow. Wow. Okay. Okay. And then the brilliant part about this scene was that the producers pulled in a clip from 2012 to show us this scene where Traci is talking with a therapist. Her name is Cheryl, and all of the sisters, and she is lamenting and crying out loud about being left behind. And she was like, Trina was pregnant around the same time, and nobody left Trina behind. And everybody's faces was on stuck. Guys, y'all, I'm so glad they pulled on that clip. Because listen, who of us has had the time to go back and binge all 8 seasons of the, Braxton Family Values to keep us current, to keep it fresh on our mind what all was going on? This show came out in 2012. That was so long ago. So there are so many details that I forget and that I wish were still fresh on my mind, I don't know how to say this name. I think it's just another, just another sin. Okay. It says happy Saturday. Happy Saturday to you. Happy Saturday to you all who are in the space with me. Shout out to 11 of you in the chat. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. Okay. Let YouTube know that I'm here and that you all are rocking with your girls' commentary. I really do appreciate y'all. Okay. All right. So I'm just going through my notes, making sure I'm not missing anything. My bad, y'all. You see a clip of Traci breaking on the sisters in 2012. She says she's not worth shit because of the choices she made. She says, okay, Trina had a child way before her and Trina got to sing and she couldn't sing. But it was her that they told couldn't go. And that they told her, oh, you made this decision. Okay. Now, Towanda says that everyone has a narrative that they left Traci behind and that, they didn't sign. They didn't want to sign Traci or something like that. I already mentioned that part. She's like, back then you couldn't be a star and be pregnant. Trina jumped in to add her 2 cents. Tawana says, me and see, and the thing is too, I was dictating my notes into my phone. So sometimes I'm reading it back and I'm like, what is that word? I know I didn't say that. Anyway, says me and Trina really didn't want to sign. And Traci said, go ahead. Of course, Traci said, go ahead. She wanted to see her sisters do well and see success in this space. She wasn't going to tell y'all to stay behind. And then y'all stay behind and resent her the whole time and mistreat her like y'all have been doing. Like, come on, Towanda. I did mention the part where she says they toured with Luther and that when it was time to go on the second half, Tone canceled it to create like a special show for Traci. That seemed like it was a one-off situation though, because this was Traci's main lament when she was on the show. This was like the source of Traci's discontent the entire time. A lot of the times, like, you go to therapy, you go to whatever, and they ask you why you're here. I feel like if you asked Traci that question at that time, it would be traced back to, I got left behind and my sisters went on tour without me because I was pregnant. That was like the root of so many of their problems, right? And that was why they called Traci the wannabe. Towanda brings up this moment. Towanda says the narrative is that we left out our sister. No, we left you, referring to Kevin Sr. I just don't like how she's trying to rewrite the narrative. She's adding some swindle to the conversation. Towanda is doing this thing called pastor speak, where she's like twisting up her mouth a certain way, and she's and and she's getting loud. And I feel like people who talk like this are very manipulative. They think that if they speak a certain way, it will make the things that they are saying believable. It makes the things that they're saying true, right? If they present it in a certain way. And Towanda is doing this, and it is working the hell out of my nerves, y'all. It is working my nerve to the bone. All right, let me jump into my notes before I start going off on side tangents and saying things, y'all. All right. Shout out to 13 of y'all in the room. Hit the like button for me, y'all. Okay. Then she says that Traci went on to be a very successful actress and recording artist, and we supported her the entire time. Did you? Okay. And then we have Sean saying, oh, Traci was such a fighter. Tawanda's like, yeah, and she fought until the very end. And then she breaks the fourth wall. She looks into the camera and she's like, rest in peace, Traci. Y'all, when I tell y'all, I don't know if I've ever rolled my eyes that hard. I think I almost rolled my eyes clean out of my head. I'm not even kidding you. Welcome to the live, Toya Adora. So welcome, y'all. I really appreciate y'all for being here with me. I think they really left her behind in real life. Like the sisterhood was gone, not career wise. She lost her sisters. She did. She did. Currently rewatching Braxton Family Values, and Towanda has never explained that left behind situation to Traci in that way. Y'all see it. Y'all see it. And it's not a thing of I don't like Towanda and I just want to pick at everything that she says. Towanda is extremely manipulative. Okay? It's starting to rain outside and my dog is outside. Let me let him back in real quick, y'all. My bad. Come on in, puppy. Come on, puppy. No more treats. You just have a treat. Come on. Let's go downstairs. No more treats, bud. You gonna go lay down? No more treats. You just had a treat, Bubba. All right, y'all. What side of my head is that sticking up? Okay. Back into these notes. Is 16 of y'all in the live with me. Go ahead and hit the like button. I really do appreciate y'all for spending your Saturday with me. I have a little bit of Tito's and Ruby Red grapefruit in my cup. I topped it with a little bit of this. Oh, y'all can't see that. This little rosé honey. And it's just a cute little Saturday afternoon moment. I wanted to come down here and spend some time with my people. And then going live recently has helped me to appreciate going live more because I like the live interaction. I like bouncing off of y'all's energy. I really do enjoy that. All right. Let me go ahead and jump back into my notes. I hope y'all are having a good one, a good Saturday so far. Okay. Now, what else do we have here? I'm going to get to y'all's comments in a second. 20 people in the chat. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. 20 people. I really do appreciate y'all. All right. What else do we have here? Oh, this is a huge side note right here. But I had been forgetting to mention this production aspect. I don't know if you all have ever seen the show Succession on HBO. The way they filmed this kind of feels like that. I don't know if the sisters have ever watched Succession, but they have pulled a similar sound from the intro. So it sounds like the intro music from Succession is being interwoven throughout this show. I don't know if the sisters have ever seen Succession. It is about a very rich, dysfunctional white family in power doing a bunch of shit. I haven't watched it all the way through. I only watched maybe like one or how many seasons of Succession were there? 3? If there were 3 seasons, then I only watched like 2.5. I couldn't get to that. And I was like, child, I can't. But the producers are really playing up this dysfunction in the family. And like, I don't feel like the Braxtons are aware. And that has been gagging me. Like, it's these little details for me that really make a show. That really, okay. Julie, shout out to Julie Davis, who says it's 5 seasons. Julie knows what I'm talking about. Is it just me, Julie? Or does it kind of feel like the way they set it up, it does feel like Succession a little bit? That's a small detail that I really, really love. All right. Anyway, so we have Tamar in the studio, and she is having a conversation with this producer. His name is Nye. Now, Tamar mentions that we're coming up on Traci's 2nd heavenly birthday. The producer mentions that Traci said to him in passing, "Oh, my sister is talented and sweet, and you better treat her right or I'll kick your ass." She talked about how much she loves you, so on and so forth. Y'all, I'm not even going to hold you, and I'm not trying to be mean or nothing like that. I just really felt like this man was lying. I felt like this man was just saying anything. I was going to say something, but I'm not going to say that. I felt like this man was lying and capping. And then by the end of the episode, I was reassured. I was vindicated in my feeling that this man was lying. Traci didn't say that to you. And see, it started to stir Tamar up and get her in her feelings. And I was just like, okay. So I was kind of side-eyeing him after that. No problem. Tamar says that she's excited about her record doing so well, but at the same time, she's so sad about her sister not being here. And she feels like she doesn't want to be happy. She wants to remember her sister. Tamar, what are you even talking about? You just say stuff just to say it. You can't remember your sister and be happy in the same breath. There's no space for 2 emotions at the same time. What are we saying here? What are we saying? What are we talking about? You got to be sad that your sister's gone, or you got to be happy. You can't be both. Shout out to the 17 people in the room, the 18 people in the room. I appreciate y'all so much for rocking with me on your Saturday. What y'all drinking, child? I'm having a little bit of vodka, ruby red grapefruit, topped with a little bit of rosé, a little bit of prosecco in me. All right. Tamar is asking if she can hear back what she recorded. And then she lays down on a pillow and she puts her feet up on the couch. Don't other people come to the studio and sit their ass down on the couch? Why are your feet that you've been walking around, in public spaces, probably stepping in dog shit? You go to a public restroom, God alone knows what's on the floor in a public restroom, but you want to put your feet up in the studio where people got to put their ass. Okay. This is not a 5-year-old child. This is like a 40-something-year-old woman. Okay, cool. Anyway, so the sisters and Miss Evelyn are, together for dinner. Trina and Towanda are Towanda. Trina and sometimes I do that. Like when I was in cosmetology school, I used to put like the ER on people's names. Like my one of my counselors, her name was Vanessa. I would call her Vanessa. Anyway. Anyway, so Miss Evelyn and the girls are together for dinner. They're briefing her on what went on, right? Now, Towanda is asking Trina what she would have changed about the dinner they had in DC. Did y'all clock this moment? Trina says that she would have changed that she was able to sit and enjoy her crabs and wanted to say, oh, and Towanda was saying, oh, I was thinking the same thing. Y'all, I watched that episode at least 3 times. When I looked at the episode, everybody in the family, everybody was eating. I mean, going in, tearing that food up. So it didn't appear to me, Trina and Towanda, that y'all weren't enjoying your food. It looked like y'all were chowing down, like y'all was throwing down for real. So imagine my shock when the sisters said, oh, we didn't really feel like we could enjoy it and get into our food. Wow. Okay. I don't know. Something about that. It's just a little bit in the wake of what your nephew is going on, or in the wake of what your nephew has got going on. That's a little callous to me. You worry about some crab legs that you could get anytime. These moments, these memories that you create with your nephew, you can never recreate. You can never get them back. You can never make it what it was. But you're talking about crab legs. You really wish you got to enjoy your crab leg dinner. Wow, girls. I mean, wow. I don't know, y'all. Weird. All right, let's move on. Let's move through these notes. Okay. So Evelyn, Miss E, and Tamar arrive. Miss E and Tamar get there. Tony calls them on FaceTime. Y'all, this fucking blew me. And Tony living legend Braxton. I do have to pull your card here. Okay? Because in the last episode, you were saying that you couldn't fly to Maryland because, your doctor told you that something about your blood count and you're not supposed to be traveling like that, but you took your ass to France. You took your ass to France, and the girls are like, oh, are you going to stop at a castle? But you couldn't check on your nephew to see how he was doing? Interesting. What else do we have here? Towanda, once again, is bringing up that Kevin Jr. is fighting for his wife and his marriage. Mind you, Kevin Jr. has never had a confessional. Kevin Jr. has never had a confessional. to tell his side of the story, to say what all is going on with me. Why is that, y'all? Why is it that he can be used as a central part of this storyline? It's episode 5. We still talking about Kevin Jr. and his wife, and his problems with his wife. Meanwhile, we don't know what's going on. Well, I know what's going on. I don't know if y'all know. But really, B, hold up the court documents, okay? That let us know that there was a domestic violence charge and that there was a court, an order of protection granted to Kevin Jr.'s wife. Okay, he likes to put his hands on people. We also know that the case was thrown out or whatever like that. Maybe they decided to work it out. We don't know. We don't really know. But again, it's really only Towanda that is telling her nephew's story. Kevin's not telling his own story. He's not getting, it's like they bring him in for moments, like where they want him, where they want to squeeze him in, but he's not getting the chance to talk about what's really going on with him. Why is Towanda the narrator of this story? This man is alive. He's a grown man. Weird. Okay. It's also weird that they keep bringing up Kevin Sr. He's not there to defend himself. They refuse to pull him into the show. Okay. Towanda also says that Kevin Sr. is seemingly thinking that Traci wasn't in her right mind when she put together this will. We know that the lawyer refuted that. He says that she was lucid, he was cooking her oxtails and all these different things. But Towanda keeps saying, oh, Kevin Sr. said this, but we haven't heard Kevin say that out of his own mouth. So now I'm starting to feel like we cannot trust the things that Towanda says in regards to Kevin Sr. We can't take what she says as law, as fact. Claudia Smith, I see you, baby. Welcome. I appreciate you for stopping through. I see y'all in here. I see y'all. I appreciate y'all so much, but I'm trying to make it through the review because, I get sidetracked in the comments and I love talking to y'all and just like bouncing off the energy. But I want to try to stick to the review and then I'll circle back to y'all's comments. So I do see y'all rolling in. I do appreciate y'all so much. Claudia Smith, Monica, Julie Davis, Ayana J, Toya Adora, Tiffany Bradley, Constance White. Where's my other boo? Just Another Sin. I see you in here, boo. I appreciate y'all. All right. And if I miss anybody, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Please know that it is not personal. I was just trying to scroll through real quick. All right. What all else do we have going on here? So they decide to have a crab feast for Traci's birthday. Denise is Towanda's friend from college. Apparently, Traci and Denise got really close. Okay. And then Traci got sick. Denise was there apparently every day, every step of the way for her. Then all of a sudden, we get fine ass OG rolling up to congratulate Tamar on the success of her single. He brings her flowers. He's breaking the fourth wall. And I mean, I thought he was cute before, but in this moment, I was just really like, OG is cute, y'all. Is it me? He's cute to me. That's a man. That's a man. He's cute. All right. What else do we have here? Oh, we have this very unnecessary scene where Trina and Vaughn are meeting up with Trina's children, Eric and Caleb. Okay. Now, I remember Eric and Caleb, but I don't know that, like, if I saw them in the street, I would recognize immediately that they were Trina's children. But then like when I started to like look at them like and just kind of like get used to the scene and seeing them again on TV, I was like, oh yeah, 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 yeah. The younger one, Caleb, he has a white girlfriend. No shade. He looks like he has a white girlfriend. He gives me that. He would have a white girlfriend. But he did make a little jokey joke towards the end that made me laugh. So I was like, all right. You know, I'm trying not to be judgmental, but it's like you could have picked out your fro a little bit and you know, the handlebar mustache was a little crazy. It was a little wild. But all right. So they are at this axe throwing place. Trina is throwing axes at the wall, and every time she throws the axe, she says, grandbaby. This is weird. This is weird. The older son mentions that he's not really drinking like that. Trina says, oh, that's good for your sperm count. Apparently, the elder son has been married for 9 years, and Trina is like, where's my grandbaby? Where's my grandbaby? If they've been together 9 years and they don't have one yet, it's probably not coming, sweetie. Okay? Both of her sons are saying that they don't want children, and she keeps pressing the issue. She says that Traci was so amazing with her grandbabies and that she wants to have that experience for herself. See, y'all see other people having certain experiences and whatever, and y'all want to have that, but it may not be in the cards for you. You may have to love on somebody else's children and like have them be like your adopted grandkids in your mind. Your kids don't want that. They don't want that. They don't want that. They don't want that. Listen to them. Listen to your kids. Listen to people when they say that they don't want to have kids. Then we wonder why there's so many motherfucking kids in foster care and on the damn street. Right? And neglected. Listen to people when they say that they don't want to have children. This pisses me off. And then the other thing is that, like, even me, I'm single. I'm single as a dollar bill. And it's older people, older women, more specifically in my family, like, oh, where the kids? Bitch. Not coming. The fuck? It's so presumptuous to ask people about, oh, when you having kids? Do you know what you were assuming when you people ask, oh, when you're having kids? You are assuming somebody's spiritual wellness, their financial abilities and capabilities, emotional, mental, their reproductive capabilities. What if there's a woman who just, she can't have kids and she's trying or she's trying different methods and you want to jump up and trigger her and be like, oh, when y'all having kids? When you having kids? You're 38. None of your fucking business. Mind your own ovaries. Mind your own scrotum. It's just a wild, invasive question. I don't like it. And I want us to get away from this culture of, oh, when do you have kids and you need to have babies? And no, no. When people say they don't want to have kids, leave it alone. My stomach is growling. I need to eat. When people say they have kids, they don't want to have kids, leave it alone. And just let that be that. And if they change their mind, they can change their mind. But I was with Vaughn when he said, let them go and have a vasectomy. It is the least invasive procedure, right? And it can be reversed. And I think it is the responsible thing for men to do if they know that they don't want children. Yes, go ahead and have that vasectomy. I applaud them. I applaud Trina's kids. And despite Trina's wonkiness, it seems like they actually have a grip on themselves and on reality. Y'all always want to jump up to ask somebody if they can have kids. Are you going to help support them in this economy? Never mind. Like, say you even have like all the money that you would need to take care of a child. You have the mental, emotional fortitude to be present for a child. I don't even have the mental capacity to sometimes text motherfuckers back every day. A child talking about mommy, mommy, mommy all day, every day. I know I don't have it for that. So leave the kids thing alone, y'all. I didn't think that this was disrespectful. What is the difference between Vaughn telling Trina's kids to have a vasectomy and if a woman doesn't want kids, her getting on birth control? The woman is going to throw her body all out of whack, lower her libido. Hormones got her body doing all kinds of wonky shit, mood disorders, and all, your period is affected, your appetite, all kinds of things. A vasectomy is reversible and non-invasive. And it wasn't disrespectful. It was realistic. Why was it disrespectful if they already said they don't want kids? If anything, Trina is disrespecting their wishes because she's not listening. Y'all think that because you're somebody's parent that you can always just tell them what is and what isn't? Them niggas is grown. They're grown. Just because Trina wants grandbabies, y'all think that it was disrespectful for Vaughn to tell her kids to have a vasectomy? Y'all, come on, y'all. Come on. Whose place was it to say that then? No shade. Whose place was it to say? Toya Adora. We here. I have a dog. That's my son. That's my baby. That's enough. Like the emotional fortitude you have to have for caring for an animal. That's a lot. But anyway, let me jump back into my notes. All right. All right. So I like that Vaughn said, Caleb, he said to Caleb and Eric, I want to be a grandfather too. I want to have grandchildren, but not at the expense of y'all. Vaughn is the only one who's really processing and listening to what these boys are saying. If you don't want to have a kid, go take care of it. They can always reverse it. Vasectomies are reversible, right? But it's your body and your choice, right? So you don't want to have a whoopsie and then you end up with a child that you're going to end up hating the child, not present in the child's life, hating the mom, and then y'all end up, this is what kills me, is y'all end up with these dysfunctional children that y'all didn't even want. All these whoopsie babies, all these mistakes. When a nigga could have went to the clinic, could have went to the doctor and could have got the situation taken care of. But we got all these babies in foster care, all these unwanted children. I didn't appreciate how he suggested that the power to have children be taken away from the woman. It should be a joint decision. No. Your decision to have children lies with you, your body. If you are a woman in a marriage, just because your husband wants to have children doesn't mean that you should have children just because your husband wants it. Y'all, what are we saying here? that it's a joint decision just because one person wants it, then it's not a joint decision. How about get with people or marry people that y'all have equal views on the world, y'all are equally yoked in certain respect, both want children. If you don't want a child and then you get one motherfucker who does want a child, if a woman doesn't want a child and she gets her tubes tied, right? That's her choice. That's her body. Can't nobody force her to have a child now. Can't be no, it ain't gonna be no whoopsies. And now we living in a space where with Roe v. Wade, bitches is getting locked up. We're playing a dangerous game here, y'all. People are getting locked up for their own choices. You are sovereign over your body. Just because you're married doesn't mean that a person gets to make decisions for your body. As a woman, you are carrying this child for 9 months, not your husband. What are we saying here, y'all? Let me get back to my notes. I'm going to have to respectfully disagree with y'all on that. Then we start getting into the conversation of if a man wants to have sex and a woman doesn't, then a woman has to because her husband wants it. See, that's when it starts getting dicey for me. If you don't want to have kids, don't have kids. You are making the decision for your body, you as an individual. There are choices that you will have to make in a marriage as a couple. Having kids is not one of them decisions, unless y'all are both on the same page, of course. But if y'all are on 2 different pages in 2 different books, it's not a conversation. Y'all don't need to be together. All right, let me go through my notes. All right, so we have a scene where we see Towanda is driving somewhere. She is calling Kevin Jr. and she's asking him if he wants to come out to Georgia to join his mother's birthday celebration. Cool. So now we have Traci's heavenly birthday party. Excuse me. All right. I hope it doesn't seem like I'm being nitpicky here, but they all have these beautiful pictures of Traci everywhere. And then the main display picture, I don't know if you all have noticed this, but it was an AI picture. Like the main display picture that they kept going back was AI. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. Please go back to the episode if you don't believe me. My eye is pretty much trained to know like what an AI picture is. You know, I can spot them out anywhere. I don't know if other people can catch it, but it was definitely an AI picture and it bothered me. It did bother my spirit. I did think it was really nice to see Towanda and Traci's kids there embracing Kevin Jr. and being like, hey, cousin, what's up? I love that. I love those moments. You know, the cousin bond is really special. I love my cousins. When we get together, it's always a key. Okay. I miss my cousins. Shout out to them. What else do I have here? Speaking of cousins, where are Toni Braxton's children? Don't they live in Georgia? Hmm. All right. By the way, I hated the dress that Towanda had on at this party. It was just the shape, the silhouette was just so wrong. The colors, the black with that kind of blue. I was just like, and that fascinator on her head, like, I hated it. I hated Tawanda's outfit, but I did think that Tamar and Trina and Miss E looked really good. All right, so now we have the women eating these skinny, terrible looking crabs that they purchased. And they're talking about Traci and how, she couldn't eat crabs after a while. She just wanted to be around watching everybody else eat crabs. I said, really? Really? Oh, okay. And then we have Kevin Jr. It's like, Kevin Jr. is like putting his piece in. He's like at the table. He's trying to have a conversation with them. And he's like, my mom would always say, eat some for me. She was just living in the moment. And I don't know if production cut away to Tamar jumping into a new conversation or if it really went that way, but it was such an awkward cut because he was trying to have like a vulnerable moment and just like connect with them. And then Tamar was like, so by the way, Denise, what made you decide to come and, hang out with Traci for X amount of, and I was like, was I the only one who felt like that? That was awkward. Aki boots. Shout out to 28 of y'all in the room with me. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. So Tamar is asking Tawanda's friend Denise about what made her want to come and pretty much spend, all of her time with Traci when Traci was on her way out, Sorry, I was jumping in my notes a little bit there. Yeah, so she's like, what made you want to drop everything? Denise is like, well, there's something about when Traci tells you, I don't want to be alone. It just makes you want to drop everything. And I thought to myself, well, how incredible is it that she was able to take as much time as she did to spend that much time with Traci, because most people got jobs and stuff going on. When I had my acute anaphylaxis moment a couple weeks ago, I had to use up all my PTO for my little 9 days that I took off work. I had to use up all my PTO. So I'm like, this lady has got to be retired. Denise gives me old lesbian. Like, I want to hang out with her. I like her vibe. She was like dancing and carrying on with the family. I was like, I like Denise. Something about her aura is just correct to me. Tiffany Bradley said, interesting how they plan a whole celebration for his mother and then ask, would you like to come? Like he is not her son and part of the family. You see it, Tiffany Bradley. All right, so let me get back to my notes. Yeah, so shout out to Denise for being in that space and being able to support Traci as much as she did. And then we have Trina saying, well, Traci, I'm sorry. I'm jumping. I'm skipping things because when Denise is explaining, oh, Traci said that she didn't want to be alone. This is the moment where we get to the root of why Tamar is even asking this question. She wasn't asking because she genuinely just wanted to know and, she was curious. She was asking because she wanted to make it about her. Because then it turns into, oh, well, because I only got to spend a couple of weeks with her and I only found out when she was in the hospice bed. Tamar. Mm. Mm. Then we have this conversation with Trina saying, well, babe, You and Traci weren't really on good terms like that, you know? You would think that this would be the moment where Tamar checks in with herself and says, damn, we really weren't getting along. Do y'all remember when Traci told Tamar that she was hard to love? They had a very infamous feud on the show. Excuse me, that went on for a very long time. And according to Tamar, oh, we had gotten over it. We weren't feud. If Trina tells you, Trina knows. Trina knows that y'all were feuding, and the fact that you are bypassing this. And Tamar does this thing where she'll ask you a question and she'll be like, she does this real rude, like she kind of like cuts her eyes at you when she thinks you're wrong, and she goes, I'm like, what the fuck is all this attitude for? Just have a conversation like a grown woman and stop infusing all the attitude and the eye rolling and just take a moment. And again, Tamar does not have any moments of self-awareness or introspection, because now the conversation is about, well, why didn't Traci tell me that she was sick? And why didn't y'all tell me? It becomes a thing about, this is the blame game now. Now she's mad at her family for not telling her that Traci was sick. Traci ain't want your ass to know. Then we have Denise revealing, well, and mind you, Denise is sitting there mad uncomfortable during this conversation. Like, now why am I in it? Like, yeah, I'm just showing up to support my friend. Like, I don't got nothing to do with what y'all got going on as a family. Right? And Denise reveals, well, I think Traci felt like she didn't want to be a bother. That is code for, I didn't think you would give a damn. To me. To me. Are y'all telling me that it was wrong for the sisters to respect Traci's wishes and not tell her business because it would have hurt Tamar's feelings? If I tell you that you're my sister, you're my mother, you're my friend, that I'm going through something and I ask you not to share it and you share it anyway, we're done. And I ain't telling you shit else. If I tell you some shit and I tell you not to speak on it, you better be a motherfucking vault. You better be. And the way I move, if you tell me, if a friend tells me something, a family member, you don't even have to ask me not to say something. And I'm not going to go repeat it. It's not my business to tell. Just because somebody is somebody's sister, they wasn't even all that close like that. So how was the expectation that the sisters are going to go tell Tamar? We're acting like Traci and Tamar were besties. They weren't. They weren't close. They were feuding. Tamar cannot conceptualize, maybe it was me. Maybe I'm the problem. Maybe I'm the reason that Traci didn't want to tell me that she was ill or going through these deeply personal situations concerning her health. She never stops to consider that she was the issue or that she played a part into the issue. Y'all don't think that that's a problem? How is it now about, oh, y'all didn't tell me? Traci told her. Traci told them, excuse me, not to tell your ass. And she told them for a reason. There was a reason she didn't want to know, or she didn't want you to know, excuse me. And I think that you should respect that. I think that everybody should respect that. I don't give a damn what your relationship was to her. I don't give a damn that you were her sister. She didn't want you to know. It was her secret to keep. Yes, it was a big secret. Yes, it was cancer. Yes, she was on her way out the door. It was still her business, y'all. All right, let me see what all else I got in my notes here. I just hit an hour. I'm glad I didn't do pre-recorded because the last time I tried to do pre-recorded, I got to 50 minutes and I said, time out. 50 minutes? Absolutely not. I'm not editing all that. Shout out to the 27 of y'all in the room. Go ahead and hit the like button for me. Also, I want to shout y'all out really quick. Y'all, when you interact with me in the chat, in the comments, you all are actually pushing me up in the algorithm, pushing me up in YouTube and letting YouTube know that, you know, you all are digging my content. So that's why my live numbers had looked so nice for the last one. So I really do thank and appreciate you all so much for that. All right, let me go ahead and make sure that I'm not missing anything here. Yeah. Tamar says, no, we were at odds. To Trina. She says, Trina, do you know something that I don't know? Trina says, Nye would remember. Nye is the producer that I told y'all earlier that was lying in the studio, talking about, oh, Traci said, hey, you know, you better treat my little sister right. She ain't say that. I don't believe it. I just don't. I thought I had my banner up here. All right, so, oh, and in this moment, Towanda gets up, she walks away, she says she doesn't want to have nothing to do with it. Towanda is letting us know in so many words that she still don't really fuck with Tamar like that. Tamar, your family don't really fuck with you like that. And you are the reason that they don't fuck with you. You are insufferable. You are. You are. It's just a fact. All right. Nine comes over. I can't even remember what he said, child, but it's irrelevant to me because I feel like Trina is not going to sit up there and lie. She knows. And I feel like also Trina was the one who was closest to Traci out of all the sisters. She, from what I can remember in all of the clips that I see, she is the one who validated Traci the most in whatever she was going through in her feelings. Hey, Gemini Nola girl, thank you so much for stopping through, baby. I really appreciate you. Hey, Raina Gibson, I see you in the chat, boo. All right, I have some more notes here. Just rambling about Tamar not taking accountability for how she acted, how she's insufferable and unbearable. We could definitely talk about that, Ayana J. We could definitely get into that. I do have thoughts on Tamar and JR and all of the Braxton women and the way they choose men. Oh my God. Oh my God. One very huge detail that I forgot to mention is, remember at the top of the episode, y'all, when Tamar was on the phone with Vince and she was like, oh, you know, we really learned a lot about how to co-parent and coexist from my parents. This, y'all don't listen. Y'all gotta listen to the things that Tamar says. This will let you know the level of delusion that resides in her body just naturally. The spirit of delusion is so heavy on Tamar. She says stuff like it's fact. Like, y'all, Miss Evelyn can't even be in the same room as Michael Sr. to this day. He was in group therapy and grief therapy with him, and then as soon as he opened his mouth, Miss E started to roll her eyes. You learn how to co-parent from your parents? What else can I say? What else can I say? What more can I say? Let me just breeze through my notes, skim through my notes. We're at an hour mark, so I should be pretty finished, or pretty close to finish, excuse me. And then we can talk about Tamar and JR and the Braxtons and their choices and men. What else do we have here? Oh my God, this part. No, this part fucking blew me. Before I get there, let me just make sure. I also have here. Oh wait, I skipped something. I'm sorry, y'all. I just have so many notes. Okay. Miss E says that she wants to do a tribute to Traci. She wants to get up and dance. Now, there is a picture of Traci at the table where they're sitting and eating those skinny crab legs. It is probably the most beautiful picture that I have ever seen of Traci in my life. It is the most gorgeous picture of Traci. Why that was not the main display, God alone knows. But they had an AI picture as the main display. Choices. Oh, and Vince supposedly was physically abusive, but can be on your platform, but not Kevin Sr. Clock it. You clocked it so bad. Miss E was the one who told us that Vince was beating up on Tamar and how she had to run out of the house with what's the baby's name? What's the child's name now? What's the child's name? Somebody in the chat. Auntie Brain. What is that child's name? I can't remember. But Vince can be on the platform. But Kevin Sr., I've never heard that he put his hands on Traci or anything like that. Yes, I've heard of the cheat. Logan. There you go. Logan. Thank you so much, y'all. Yes. I could not remember that baby's name for the life of me, child. Logan. That's right. But Vince can be on the platform. All right. Yeah, but I was just kind of ranting about I didn't like this AI picture. Traci's dead, and y'all still don't respect her enough to just have like a pretty picture as the main display. But what else do we have here? I said, y'all don't respect her. Y'all didn't respect her while she was alive. You can't tell me that she would love at this moment how y'all are carrying on with her husband and putting all of her son's business out in the world while not telling any of y'all's business. This whole storyline with Trina bringing on her sons, Caleb and what's the other one's name, Eric, talking about them not want to have kids. What a cheap shot. We're not stupid. What y'all really got going on? Why is everything all about Kevin Jr. and y'all are talking about Kevin Sr.? Hmm? We don't know Towanda's business. We only know Scratchy's business. Shout out to Alexander Rogers and C. Diggy One. It's only Scratchy's business on the forefront. No shade. I don't even think, I don't want to say this. I don't want to say this. I don't think that, I think that I think that Kev Jr. has some developmental issues. So I don't think he's aware that he's being used. I don't think he's aware that he's being exploited. I don't. Shout out to the 25 of y'all in the chat with me right now. Okay, go ahead and hit the like button for me. I'm coming down to the end of my notes. Then we got Kevin Jr. walking up to Miss E saying, you did a wonderful job and that she's been a great mother. And then he said something else that I didn't catch, but I think he was just nervous trying to get the words out. And Miss Evelyn says, thank you. And then she kind of like goes in, all right, everybody, let's do the electric slide. It was so awkward. It was so awkward. Like, why? Like, he said that and she could have been like, thank you, and hugged him and held his hand and said, help me facilitate electrics. Or I don't know. Just like pull him in more. Like, it just seems so weird that she was like, all right, y'all, electric slide. After he had that heartfelt thing that he had to say to Miss E about his mother, to his grandmother. Was that the only one who caught that? Like, that was weird to me. Lakia says that was weird. I didn't know about that, but we definitely gonna have a chat. All right, I'm just making sure I don't have anything else in my notes. Yeah, I have here that, I really love Denise's energy. She gives me a nasty piece of older lesbian. And I love older lesbians. I really do. I do. I love an older lesbian woman. But that's the end of my review. I do thank y'all so much for stopping through and joining me. But I am going to kind of sidetrack and talk a little bit about Tamar and her Caucasian man and her wigger. She met on that dating show that she had with Evelyn Lozada and Nivea. They were married for 61 days, is my understanding. Then it was all this back and forth about, he put his face in Tommy's butt. And then Tamar's talking about, I won't let a crackhead steal my man. Then he was running up her credit card at the Four Seasons, spending her money on other women. The crazy part about that is like, you're letting a man spend your money is wild, but a white man? Do we think that this is what Tamar's ancestors would have wanted for her? And she's probably like, yeah, I run up a bag for love. I run up a bag for my man. Is it love? Is he your man? Because then she was saying something like, if he comes back, I'll take him back. So it's not even given that you really done with him. And he dogged you out and embarrassed you and spent up your coin. The Braxton women do not make good, sound choices when it comes to men. Tamar has showed us that time and time again. She showed us that with Vince. She showed us that with the African nigga she was with. She showed us that with this white man. I just feel like so many people prioritize relationships and or relationships with other people, and they don't prioritize the relationship that they have with themselves. Vaughn and Trina on Trina Braxton's channel was wild. I almost got down here and cussed Vaughn out, and then I was like, for what? She chose him. This is her third husband. You 50 years old, still making bad choices in men? I ain't got it. I ain't got it in me to get worked up. That's your choice, mama. You did it. You made it. Towanda got this man, Sean, who asked her father's hand for marriage back in 2020. He's still stringing her along. It's almost 2025. And anytime the conversation of marriage is brought up, she's running away and she doesn't want to force him. She doesn't want to press him. He was the one who went to your dad, Toots. He went out of his way to press your dad to ask your hand in marriage. And now you want to play passive because you don't want to say, oh, I don't want to propose to myself. You're not proposing to yourself. You're simply following up and asking this man what his intentions are for you, because he already stepped to your dad about you. This is your future. There's nothing wrong with saying, like, babe, what's our plan for the future? I know you went to my dad. Like, okay, what are we trying to do? Are we giving it like a 5-year plan? Are we giving it 10 years? Are we giving like, we run down to the courthouse and then we just like buy a house with the money we would have used for the wedding? I don't know. But to just sit there passively and let Sean kind of run you, knowing how Towanda is like so controlling, but then like her letting Sean manipulate her and run her like that is crazy. Girl, Ayana J, this right here, baby. When Toni Braxton brought Birdman to the show, first of all, when it was rumored that they were dating or whatever, I never believed it. I never even believed it. Like, my mind couldn't fathom that. I was like, no, that's not real. That's not true. It's just the internet playing tricks, playing games, like, you know. And then she brought that nigga on the show. This family makes me want to smoke a cigarette. I don't smoke cigarettes, y'all. They make me want a Newport 100. They make me want a menthol cigarette, y'all. Like, Miss E and this whole, you know, she still doesn't forgive Michael Sr. 25 years later, he already done married the woman, moved on with his life. You know how many niggas Miss E could have had by now? She could have been remarried a couple times by now, and she's still pressed about that nigga. What gives? What gives? Anyway, I'm not going to hold y'all too much longer. I figured I would come in here for like an hour and a half tops. If there's anything else Braxton's related y'all want to touch on before I jump out of here at 1:30, I mean, like the 1 hour, 30-minute mark, we can definitely chat about it. But I wanted to keep this short and sweet, or as short as I could, because I also knew I was going to be a little bit long-winded. But yeah, I really appreciate y'all for stopping through, rather. Let me just go through the comments real quick, make sure I'm not missing anything. Tamar and her denial about her and Traci's relationship, it's very much that. It is denial. It's big denial. You know, in these situations with these reality TV personas, I'm so glad that we have memories that we can call on. We have the actual show that we can still watch and go call on. to remember these times. Like, you can't rewrite history now that Traci is gone and because you feel bad and you wish things were different. Tamar, you are a fucking asshole to Traci at every turn. Can I say something real quick? Can I say something too? I sound like Cousin Rodney. Can I say something? Y'all, there was a clip going around that I saw recently of the reunion. It might have been the first reunion. And you all remember when Wendy Williams did that reunion, right? And they did a playback of Traci saying, no, it was Tamar. It was Tamar saying this about Traci. Traci is just, she's a hood rat. She's a hood rat. Duck. And she's doing all this bouncing with her shoulders and all this shit like a fucking Muppet. You were the main hood rat. You came to the studio on some hood shit, putting your feet up on the damn couch. But you wanted to call Traci the hood one. She was the ghetto one. Y'all, that blew me when I saw it recently. Just because you use gay terminology and you got a couple of young gays swinging off of your titties every now and again, don't mean that you're not ghetto too, Tamar. You give ghetto, babe. You give ghetto down. You give Banshee girl. What you think you give? Classy and pulled up? What do you think you give, Tamar? Y'all, that clip blew me. And she's a hood rat. And I forgot. Tamar was even more animated back then than she is now. You think she's a lot now? Bitch. When she first got on the show, I didn't know how to take her. I didn't know how to take Tamar. I was like, is she putting on? Is this a personality? Is this like I didn't know how to take her. It's a thing that she does to play up for the cameras. I see the real Tamar is how she is when she's in the studio. How she was in the studio. Just real calm, real, all of that talking in third person shit and the bouncing. You know. Toya Adora said, Tamar is so selfish. Traci in her last days, I'm sure, wanted peace, which is why she didn't let Tamar know or fool with her. Thank you, Toya. Thank you. You on your way to the motherfucking upper room. You don't want no aggravating ass bitch in the space with you. Tamar is aggy as fuck. Her energy is a lot. She's a lot to adjust to. She makes everything about her. Don't know, average motherfucker got the time for that or the energy for that, and damn sure not a sick motherfucker on their way out the damn door. So let's be very serious. She ain't tell you because she ain't want to tell you, and she had every right not to tell you because you're insufferable. Oh, Tamar has been working my nerve, y'all. Tamar couldn't stand Traci and told her she was dead to her that season, that the other sisters boycotted the show and Traci continued filming. Traci said she never forgive or forget that. Toya Adora, this is why I like you. I am a girl who lives for facts and examples. I love facts and examples, and I love receipts. The way they were acting with Traci when she was trying to film, remember how she was like actively like breaking down because nobody wanted to film with her? And the only person who would really comfort and console her at that time was her dad. Michael Sr. was the only one riding for Traci at that time. Do y'all remember that? I don't want to get emotional talking about it, but just thinking about the conversations that they had, because I watched it recently, it makes me emotional. He was just reminding her of her power and her talents and saying, like, don't give up on your dreams and everything that you work for. He was like, you're Traci. You're that girl. You're you. You know? And it was just her. I'm not gonna get emotional. I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But I'm a baby. I'm a baby. I'm also PMSing, y'all. So I'm extra like tender right now. Yo, I had a call with, I work at a call center for a medical release company. I had a call with a 90-year-old lady. It might have been Friday. It might have been Thursday. I can't remember. When I tell y'all that call almost took me out the game. I had to go into email for like 5 minutes. I couldn't take no more calls after that. She was just telling me like she lost her husband. All her friends are widows now, and they just have each other. And she's thinking about writing her book. We had like a key for 15 minutes on the phone. But y'all, just thinking about like that is going to be us one of these days. So I'm extra tender this week. It's just, like PMS week, it just becomes so clear to you like how much you've been actually suppressing the whole month, and all your emotions that are bottled up just come pouring out of you. You know what I mean? All right, let me check y'all's comments real quick. Raina says that was a great invitation. Who's that imitating? Thank you. Who was that imitating? Oh, Tamar with the bouncing shoulders. This is why I'm such a fan. That's why I'm such a fan. I love facts. Yeah, we love facts around here, you know? But listen, y'all, I done chatted y'all's ear off for the past hour and a half. MJ says, I worked for an insurance company for long-term care, so I know those calls well. It can be emotional. MJ, baby, some days I don't even be having it. Some of the calls we get, and a thing too that I realize is like they don't prep you for the job like in that way. Like they don't tell you like it will take an emotional toll on you. That is an aspect of the job that I do think they should train you on. I've been interfacing with people for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? I'm 37, so I kind of know how to handle things and whatever, but there are some conversations that nothing will prepare you for. Nothing will prepare you for. Oh, I don't even want to say it because I know I'm gonna get emotional. We're not gonna go down that road. But yes, MJ, you know how it is. Like some days you get calls that are just crazy. You know what I mean? Like a 90-year-old, somebody's calling looking for a rape kit. Somebody's calling because their husband just died. They're trying to get their record. Like just mad crazy shit be happening. Like burn victims, like just all kinds of shit, y'all. Anyway, let me go ahead and get out of here. I do hope that y'all enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I hope that y'all get some rest and that the weekend is restorative and that you get the things accomplished that you need to get accomplished. I'm going to jump out of here. I love y'all so much. I'll see y'all for the next review. Peace.